What is going on, everyone? It's Ultimate Spy 53 here, and welcome to another episode of Reviewed number 109. And today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Suicide Squad. So, what did I think of Suicide Squad? Well, I enjoyed it. I really did. It got like 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is, quite bad. Yeah, which means it scored even less than Batman v Superman, which wasn't the best movie out of there. It's actually one of the worst movies out there, just because of the writing. And I really enjoyed it because I hardly even knew what the characters were. I saw the Joker like in one movie, and I was the Dark Knight, and then I've seen Harley Quinn in like one little thing from the animated series. I had actually no idea what these characters were. Hardly. I knew all of them, but I didn't really know much about them. But like going into the movie, I didn't really know what to expect. Coming out of the movie, I was really impressed because it was actually a very entertaining movie. Honestly, it really did. It was just really good, and with the music and the style of the movie and the way the plot is. The plot was good. I thought the characters were really interesting to learn about. Just seeing a within the DC universe, a world with supervillains, which is very cool. So basically, the movie takes place after Batman v Superman, obviously, because Amanda Waller, who's she's organizing the Suicide Squad, essentially, is like she's saying that the world was great when Superman was flying or whatever. I don't know exactly what happens, but like Superman is basically dead because he's like that's the point. What's the word that movie takes place is after Batman v Superman. It doesn't matter if I'm not going to continue watching more DC movies. I'm not going to. This is the only movies I'm reviewing. But essentially, that's what it is about. It takes place after that because Superman is they have the Superman logo like saying remember him or whatever. It's basically they have I think they have the Superman funeral from the previous movie, so it does connect in that way. But like I'm not really I still, it was worth seeing it. Honestly, it's a darn good movie, despite what people say about 26%. People probably because of the directing and the writing. People didn't like the characters, the way they were portrayed in the comics. I think they did a pretty good job. This is just from a review standpoint. I just enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was very entertaining and had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun watching it. It was a good watch. So it does feature the supervillain team, the Suicide Squad. That's what it's called. It's called Suicide Squad. It's about the Suicide Squad, and that features the super villains. Some of them don't actually have powers. Like the only ones that actually technically have powers are El Diablo and Killer Croc. But the ones in the team in this movie are Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, who's actually a Aussie. He's Aussie. His skills are just Boomerang. He's they're all like in Belleray, essentially. Like that's where they're not Ironhide, but I think Ironhide's actually the Central City prison. But Belleray is different. Like I said, basically an asylum. Arkham Asylum is where all the supervillains are kept because they're still in the Santa River. But also has Captain Boomerang is pretty cool. And El Diablo is actually one of the only characters that technically has powers. Like the only one actually shut off has an ability, and that's producing flames from his body. Or his hand in this case. I think he's pretty cool. I think he's an Hispanic character, a Los Angeles Hispanic. I don't know. Because L is I think it's the in Spanish. I don't know. It's kind of like that. But it's pretty cool. He's legit the only character that actually has power, essentially. So, aside from Killer Croc. Killer Croc is basically he's a crocodile character. He can breathe in the water like Aquaman. He can basically do all the things that Aquaman can. But he's a human crocodile, essentially. And he can swim underwater, he can eat people. He's technically a metahuman. They call him a metahuman because that's what people with powers are called, metahumans. So that's what's basically it. Then you have Katana, whose skills are really just like using a sword. Because she's just this Japanese woman who's just, she lost her husband and then she lost like her sword trap is still their victims. Like people are like, oh, that's a terrible, idea for the line. Like it's not it wouldn't be telling the absolute truth about that. Like if it does what it does, then obviously it must do that. So it's pretty cool to see her in the movie. She's obviously a Japanese woman, but like I don't know. She was interesting because all the characters they get their screen time and their each of their own way. Especially with the closing credits, it's just very cool. But we also get the Joker. Now he was a character that received way less screen time than any other character. Even with the extended version, I saw the extended version on Blu-ray, and it was about 10 minutes longer than the original release in theaters, and it had like what, one extra scene in the movie. I think it was a scene where like Harley Quinn is privy to the Joker that she really does love him, and like they are on this road, and you have the Joker talking to her. It's pretty crazy. He's a character that was interesting, especially in the comics. I've only seen him in one other portrayal. That was the Heath Ledger Joker from The Dark Knight, and I don't think I've seen it. It was like everyone was very upset when they cast Jared Leto as the Joker. It's like, it's not that bad. I mean, especially from a person who only DC knowledge he has, me, is the Justice League stuff, some Batman stuff, and the CW shows. I don't know much about DC, but I like DC stuff, but I'm not a huge fan of it. So I feel like it doesn't matter who they cast. I think it's just as long as they do a good job and they act like the Joker. Although I will say that he wasn't quite as crazy as he's on the comics to be. I mean, even the animated series or any of the other portrayals of him, I do say I feel like he could be more insane than other portrayals, but he was fine. I think Jared Leto was a great Joker. He was fantastic. But even less people usually about screen time, even with the extended theatrical release, they extended cut of it, it's still not enough screen time for him. I just feel like he could have had more, but that's just my opinion. I feel like he definitely could have had more screen time, but that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. It kind of stands away, with the reason why everyone was upset with this movie is because of the backlash with the interaction with comics. I honestly think that it was pretty good. I think that they did a pretty good job with mimicking the comics. I feel like a lot of the story was really focused on the Joker and Harley Quinn, because I feel like it was their story along with like everyone else. Like everyone else got their share of the story, but like I felt like it was mainly about Harley Quinn and the Joker. Like their story was like more of the center of it. I mean, there's a lot of the whole movie was about like different things, but like that you got more the story of the Joker and Harley Quinn got more of it, and I think that the Joker himself looks very terrifying in his own way. He's got like the green hair, and you have the red lips, the silver teeth, which is a little wonky. I think that was just a little crazy, but it does give that kind of creepiness to the Joker because he's already a creepy guy. So I feel like he did a good job with that to make him, look even more sinister. To have silver teeth, just like shiny teeth, and have red lips with their I don't know, they did a good job with the makeup. They did a really good job. They just made him look more terrifying. He's a creepy character, and there's actually a scene when with the Joker and Harley Quinn flashback where they're actually they're like Joker's trying to test Harley Quinn before she becomes officially Harley in this case Harley Quinzel before she becomes officially Harley Quinn, and it's like the same factory where the Joker originally got his like craziness, like because he originally was a character, just a normal guy, and then he became the Joker. His hair turned green, his face turned white, his lips turned red, all that stuff, and became a crazy character. And so with that scenes, you see that the factory where the Joker has accident, and you have the same thing with Harley Quinn, where he basically turned. I feel like the chemicals give them powers with it, or they give them the insane. They like the chemicals make them insane. I feel like that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like it would make sense for the chemicals to give the Joker and Harley Quinn their not powers, like they're insane, their craziness. That's what because obviously Harley Quinn is even crazier than the Joker, so it's even more interesting. But to have that scene in there was really important, because without that it wouldn't really be a good thing, because a part of the movie that people hated was the fact that there was no Jester outfit. Now there was. It just wasn't in the movie. Like, it wasn't like a costume that she wore for the entire movie. Like, it was a flashback scene. You see her with a costume. You see her they're. I think this one of the if you go to the Harley Quinn Wikipedia page, you'll see that she's in the Jester costume, but there's a flashback where Manuel was talking about Harley Quinn and the Joker, and you see her in her Jester costume, and it does show up later when she's trying on a new outfit. and she screams like, "Oh, it's my old costume," kind of thing. And then we see earlier. I think that's the same costume we see earlier, except without the balls and stuff like the hat. And we see that costume. It looks like the comics. I mean, I haven't seen the comics or watched the anime show, but I have. I think that's a pretty good thing they did, where they used that scene. They made it the idea of having the old costume. Like, oh, you have the Jester outfit, you have Joker looking like very much like the comic book Joker. It's the most comic accurate scene ever. I mean, there's a lot about comic accurate comic book characters, but like this one in particular was a very comic accurate scene. Like, people were complaining about the comic inaccuracy, but it isn't actually that bad, because you get all these flashbacks, as you get more and more flashbacks about what's happening, the relationship between Harley Quinn and the Joker, and we get how she becomes Harley Quinn. People backlash on all the time, like they think that Suicide Squad is one of the worst DC movies ever made. It is not. It is by far than that. It's not perfect, but it's not bad either. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie, and it had some great sequences in it. I think that Harley Quinn is one of my favorite characters of all time, at least in this movie. She was great, and I just feel like that it was very much centered on the relationship between Harley Quinn and Joker, because every time we see a flashback, it's mainly them. It's like literally it. I mean, we get flashbacks for the other characters, but like mainly them, and that's why Margot Robbie is such a great character. She just pulls off a character in the great way. I mean, I haven't seen Harley Quinn before, and anything else before. This is the first time I've seen her, but like, well, I've seen her from like a clip or something, but like that's it, literally that's it. So seeing her as Harley Quinn was actually pretty dang cool, and it was a cool thing because, I mean, I couldn't really tell what her accent, because she's obviously Australian, but like, I think it was meant to be out in New York, because you see there's a scene where she's getting tortured by the Joker, and it's actually more or less from the trailer, where he's saying, "Oh, well, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you really, really bad." And that was, I feel like with trailers that the dialogue is different. Like, it's the same dialogue, but like it's said differently in the actual movie. So like in this movie, the trailer was, "Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you really, really bad." And in the movie, it was, "Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you really, really bad." That was a duck. It was definitely said, but we see her, we see that she says, "Are you gonna kill me, Mr. J?" It kind of has that New Yorker accent, like the Mr. is the kind of that New Yorker accent. It's not British, like it's very much, I don't know, it kind of feels like a mix of maybe Australian and American. I mean, the New Yorker, yeah, New Yorker. It's very much New Yorker. I think it definitely reminds me of that. But the outfit itself, I think people were also complaining about the outfits. Like, oh, it's not the original costume. It's like, well, it's a modern take on it. The movie is a 2016 movie, and it's very modern. It's very modernized. Of course, it's not going to be exactly like the comics. And in this case, I think it's from the new video. I think it's the new version they have of the costume, and it's similar. They have some similarities. They have the red and stuff like that, but they also have a lot of interesting things, like dual pigtails, which I think is super cute on her. She has one is blue, one is kind of down blue, one is down pink. In terms of where it's like white hair, but right hair is like pink, and the white hair is like blue. It's a really nice hairstyle. I really like the hairstyle. I just think it's amazing. I really do. And also we see a scene with her, and I can't not liking this. I just happen to like it because I'm a person who likes the beauty industry. I just watch this stuff. I just kind of like I research it. I like beauty in that kind of way. But like the scene where Deadshot, or he's like Deadshot's talking to her about who he's killed, because Harley Quinn asks, and at that moment she's like putting on red lipstick, and that's her trademark thing. Well, I think in the original flashback scene it's black lipstick, but she wears makeup, okay, because Joker does too. So they're characters that are meant. I don't know if they have to, but like, or the chemicals bleach them to wear makeup, but they do wear makeup. The Joker wears lipstick, and I don't think it's lipstick. I think it's just like red lips. They like dyed the lips red, but in Harley Quinn's case, she actually has lipstick, which is not. I like it. I really like it. It's gorgeous on her. It's beautiful to see her wear that, but like she has this tube of lipstick, and she's like putting it on, and then it's just like, wow, she's a totally different person, and she's obviously gorgeous too. But like the actress is gorgeous too. But like, you know, and we see another comic coming from the comics. I know very, very little about the comic, but I knew some things. I know enough about the character, and it was just like, you know, this hammer that she carries in the comics and also the animated show, and it's a lot smaller than the original show, but it's also very reminiscent because it has like the X and the like I think it's an actual logo of the Suicide movie, and so we see her like, oh, someone's gonna die, and she's like, you know, she sticks up her tongue, and we see the beautiful red lips. I just can't help it. I just love those. I love red lips. I just love it. But we also love tattoos because the Joker is known for having a lot of tattoos in the movie, and in the what half hour scene, I think it's about 20 minutes to half an hour. I think about screen time. I think it's only gets about that much. Not bad at all, but still not great. But basically, we see her with the tattoos, like because the Joker has, you know, damage on all these tattoos on his whole body, because he's a character in the movie. He wears very little clothes, like in all his movies that's mainly half naked. Sometimes he wears a gold jacket, a white shirt, a red shirt, a purple jacket, like the original, like he has purple jacket, and a lot of you know, a lot of tattoos. And for her, she has like, you know, bitten, and one of the nicknames that she calls the Joker is Puddin'. I don't know why. It's weird. I don't know why. I never really understood where that nickname came from. Like, does Joker look like pudding? Like, I don't know what that means. I never really understood why that was a thing. But like, she has a nickname for the Joker, and she calls him Pudding. I don't know, or Puddin', like with an apostrophe, you know, an apostrophe. It's weird, but like, so she calls him, and so she picks up when they're doing the getting ready for the mission thing. She picks up a whole bunch of different things, and one of them is a gun, obviously. But also one of them is a belt that has the word "put" on it, like Puddin, and that is, I don't think it's on apostrophe. It's just Puddin'. It's so weird to see her like that with this costume. It's a very cool costume. I think it's very cool. You know, aside from the white face makeup, on the more sexy look, because there's a scene in that scene where she's like trying to put on her clothes, and somehow she magically has all this makeup on, and like, you know, less than a scene frame. It's just so weird. Like, we have a few little shots of the other members of the Suicide Squad, but then we see her go from long hair to short hair ish. Not really. Well, you know, to hair type of, you know, in a things, and then we have her costume, and then we have a red bra. Where it's actually a pretty funny scene in the movie where she's, you know, putting her shirt on that it's red. That is little monster. I don't know where these ideas come from, but it's a weird shirt. It's a very, very strange costume. It's very colorful, very weird, and we see her, you know, put that on. But we also see a red bra, and everyone's like looking at her. The moment she finishes putting it on, and she's like, "What?" I think that's the idea, that they're also showing her in her bra because, oh, she's a sexy icon. She's so sexy. Because that's it. I think the idea of the costume is that she's supposed to be more sexy. I don't know why that's a thing, but it is. It's just thing that for the new costume is meant to be more sexy. I don't know why that's a thing, but it's a thing, and that's a part of the costume. I guess it was just I think it was pretty funny. I think the way went off for show. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty funny. Like, everyone's staring at the girl because she's gorgeous, and she has this sexy outfit, and she has bra and all that stuff. She's girl. So it kind of, it's funny. It's a very funny thing to have like that. And the way that the Harley Quinn is very similar to the Joker is that she's basically the Joker, except she's like she's the beautiful version of the Joker. She's like the beautiful romantic interest of the Joker, because she's in love with him. Like, before she became Harley Quinn, she started becoming in love with this maniacal character who. Actually, there's a lot of scenes where I see one scene where he can show his insanity, where he's like, his laugh is like, it's weird. I can't just laugh. It's just a weird character. He's a very different from the other movies that I've seen him in. You know, The Dark Knight and well, I think that's the only thing I've seen him in. The Dark Knight, and that's it. Literally, maybe the video game that I haven't really gotten that far, but still. it's interesting to see how much she was willing to go to actually, you know, get him, you know, have him, kind of thing. And we see her go from this crazy person, and it just becomes kind of crazy. It's a very interesting story that they're telling with the characters, and you know, it's mainly focused on that relationship, but it's just like it's crazy. We see very much from the comics, and just we see it crazy, and she's just this amazing person. I think that Harley Quinn is a very, very cool character. We also see a character that is, she's meant to be part of the Suicide Squad, but she's really not. She's actually more like the main villain of the story, and that's the Enchantress, but also known as June Moon. And June Moon is this archaeologist played by Cara Delevingne, who is this beautiful British actress who, in the movie, she's played with as an American, I think, because she has an American accent, but in when she's becoming an Enchantress, she's this creepy, demonic character, witch person, and she has this British accent, and it's like weird how she goes from having this American character who becomes this British villain. It's weird. It's a very strange thing, but yeah, it's like you have, you know, June Moon who's American, and then when she turns into the Enchantress, she's British. I mean, I think it kind of like blends. Like you have a little bit part of the movie where she's like the ghostly version of the Enchantress with all the shadows, and then later on we see her actually become the beauty that she is of the actual Enchantress, and she's a very delightful woman to look at. She's gorgeous, but still, I like that part. She was a very interesting character and a very interesting villain, and she was part of that, because even if it's a superhero film about supervillains, you gotta have some kind of bad thing they go up against, even if it's like supervillains fighting supervillains. In this case, yeah, basically. We also saw a cameo, a very, very long cameo by Batman. We saw him in a few scenes. We saw him when he was confronting Deadshot and his daughter, and we also see him when he's rescuing Harley Quinn, and then we see him when he's in the dream sequence. Actually, that dream sequence is actually pretty cool. I like that dream sequence. It's a very, very cool dream sequence where, towards the end of the movie, we see all the characters, like what they want in their life. We have, you know, Deadshot, he wants to kill Batman. We have Rick Flag, the Colonel. He wants to basically live with June Moon, essentially, because they're in an intimate relationship. We also see Harley Quinn with a Jokerless Joker, essentially a Joker without the gray hair, without the makeup, all that stuff, just completely clean one, and also the same as Harley Quinn. She basically marries him, and then we see other characters like El Diablo, who his wife leaves him for the kid. His wife leaves him, and then in the dream sequence, he wants to get his wife back. So that's basically the idea. It's a very good movie. I like the music. It has some great music. It has some great visuals. It has some great effects. I think the CGI wasn't bad. At least better than most CGI that I've seen in recent past. Like, the CGI in Justice League, which I had on Australia for, which was terrible. But also a lot, some great music, some great visual effects, some great lighting, some amazing cinematography, just a great amount of detail to that kind of stuff. And I just liked it a lot. It was very good. Just seeing the movie, it's mainly about the Joker and Harley Quinn. That's the kind of idea, but it's mainly about their story, but it's everyone else's story. Like, especially the end credits, where we see all the end credits, like all the characters, they're more like each part of the end credit that was the actual name that it's significant to the character, like Deadshot with his guns, Joker with the playing cards, Harley Quinn with the hammers, Fire with the El Diablo, all that stuff. It's a really amazing thing to have that happen there. But we also, Batman is in the movie, but like he's more than just a cameo. He's more than that. He's a lot more. He's just fantastic. But I did think it had a lot of very, very interesting things. I think that it was weird how the extended edition had the extended cut had more scenes of the Joker, and then it had the theatrical edition. I like the movie. It was a very, very well done movie. I don't think it's the greatest movie of all time. I think it's very much not a perfect movie, but also it isn't a bad movie. It's not completely shit. It's a very good movie. I don't know, like when people say that, oh, it's nothing like comics, but what if you haven't read the comics? How do you know it's bad if you haven't read the comics? And I watched them and I didn't hate it. It was actually really good. So yeah, I think that's all I can really say about Suicide Squad. It's a wonderful film with wonderful music, wonderful characters. It's very, very interesting. Some of the dialogue is a little much. Like the line that everyone seems to like backlash on. It's like, oh, the script is awful, but like you have Katana's ability. Her sword can trap the souls of the victims. Wow, kind of thing. You know, it's like it's not that it isn't that bad. I didn't think it was that bad. I think my favorite character in the entire film has got to be Harley Quinn, because she is a beautiful character. She's a beautiful supervillain, and she wouldn't be like that, and she's just a different, more of a modern take on the character, and people didn't like that very much. I think that's why it didn't get all that much, and we have Joker not getting a whole lot of screen time. I think it was still very fun to see the Joker in there, and overall, the lighting and the logo and all that stuff was really cool. I just think it was very fun. It also had David Harbour, who played Jim, whatever his name is, in the Stranger Things show. So it was pretty cool to see him in there. Yeah, I liked it. It was fun. It was very fun to watch, and I really enjoyed it. So that's really all I can say about Suicide Squad. It's good. I really liked it. It had some very interesting storytelling in it. I think it had some good cinematography. I think it had like a great music soundtrack. We would get like some stuff about when they get back in this asylum. We have like Harley Quinn with a broken coffee machine. We have the Joker coming back. That was like, oh, the Joker's dead. No, he is actually alive now. So it's in all matters Laura's fault. You know, she's the reason. But also, I think the Mandalorian was great. Did a great job being performed by Viola Davis. I don't know all these actors. I just know some of them, but it's still fun to see them, and they're really good. So yeah, that's all I can say about Suicide Squad. I would recommend it. Very excellent. Although I will say that it's silly how the DVD does not have the extended cut in it. It's only watched on Blue, which is kind of stupid, but still, it's good. I think it deserved more than it got. I think that it deserved more, way more. That's all I can say about Suicide Squad. I never did give it a score. I would give it a, well, because it's not a perfect movie. I would give it a like an 8 out of 10. I think that's a pretty good amount. 8 out of 10. It's not perfect, and it definitely could have been more. And I feel like it's very much on its own. It had Batman in it. That was a ridiculous fact. I like the fact that Batman was in it, but it's still very, very fun. And you know, compared to it's a couple of hours long, so it's very, very long, but still, I would recommend it. And despite what you think of it, it's still a very fun movie. It's very entertaining. I liked it. So anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Reviewed. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. I really do appreciate support. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe for more episodes of this series and other series that I do, as well as other great content. And I'll be back next time with another episode. Alright? See you.